I didn't check to see when he stops talking, but yeah. I don't even know if he's actually talking or not because I've turned the audio off, haven't I? Anyway, welcome to the Italian Grand Prix. As you see, the Tifosi in the grandstands are all happy because there's a Ferrari on the field, but they're not on pole. They're quite far back. But here we go, 5 lights, and away we go. It's a fantastic start from the McLaren of Coulthard. Coulthard was on pole. It's a fantastic start from Coulthard, and the BAR looks to his had a little look but couldn't do anything about it. It's the BAR of Panis that's in second place at the moment. The Jaguar of Pedro De Rosa currently in third place, and Alonso is in fourth place for Toyota. Bertie in fifth place at the moment as they go through the second chicane. I forgot the name of the second chicane. We've got Fisichella there. We've got Hill in 7th place at the moment as they go through the Lesmos. Takagi is in 8th place for the Minardi. 9th place is Button as they go through Lesmo 1. 10th place is the Ferrari of Barrichello. Hopefully, and the fans are hoping that the Ferraris are going to do well this weekend. But at the moment, they've got one car in the points as they go down the back straight. It's Mika Sala that's currently in 14th place under the old banked circuit and into Ascari as Frentzen has a little look down the Saubers inside, but nothing doing. We've got the two Arrows in 17th and 18th. We've got Schumacher in the Williams, who was missing for the past 2 races but has finally turned up as Coulthard is already starting his second lap. Well in the lead of Panis, is currently second ahead as they go into the first corner. I forgot the name of the first corner. It's not Rettifilio, I don't think. I think that's the second chicane. But anyway, they're going through the Curva Grande now into the second chicane. They go. It's quite stagnated, I would say. Not much overtaking going on at the moment as we see Alonso going through the first Lesmo. Second Lesmo, it's Bertie we're on board with now, and he's currently in 5th place, going down the long straight, the 4th straight on this track. Very bumpy the track is, going through the Ascari chicane. Fisichella, the only Italian on the field for this race. He replaced the former Italian of Jarno Trulli 2 races ago, or 3 races ago. One of them, and here he is, Damon Hill in the McLaren going round the Parabolica, drifting pretty much around Parabolica. We have the Japanese driver of Torisuke Takagi. That was brave, Kyle. As we have the current results, so it's results? It's not even finished yet. Coulthard, and you saw it. You don't need me to repeat it. As we're on board with Jenson Button as they go through the first chicane. But now we're on board with Barrichello going through the first chicane. And he's gone through the first chicane quite well. Well done. As they go through the Curva Grande, we're not going through the Curva Grande because we were on board with Bertie now as he's going through the first Lesmo. Trying to have a look. It's not Bertie, it's Pedro De Rosa as he's going through the first corner of second Lesmo corner, trying to have a look to get past Olivier Panis. We're currently building up a little bit of a lead now over Alonso in a Toyota. As again they go through underneath the old bank circuit for the third time, through Ascari for the third time as well. Very quick corner, very quick track in fact. One of the quickest on the calendar, maybe the quickest on the calendar. I'm not sure how quick Silverstone is compared to this, as to go through Parabolica, the very fast final corner, but still taken in first gear. But accelerates round the corner, which is very unusual in Formula 1 tracks to do that, as they go through the start-finish line to start the 4th lap. Luciano Berti currently fifth place, trying to have a look down the Toyota's inside of Fernando Alonso. Let's go through the first chicane. There's a lot of trees on the right hand side. Quite a lot of open space on the left hand side. There should make a grandstand there. Fisichella now, we're on board with 6th place. As noted, the only Italian on the F1 grid, I believe. He is representing Italy, but the Italians aren't bothered about the likes of Fisichella. Thank you for the names. They would have helped like 4 laps ago. They're not really bothered about Fisichella. All they are bothered about is the Ferraris and how they do. They are Ferrari mad in the grandstands in Italy. As we go through the Ascari chicane again. Bertie's back end skidding out. And Fisichella just nowhere near him in order to try and overtake him. Is he going to have a look at... It'd be brave going down the inside of Parabolica. Slightly too fast to go around the inside of Parabolica. As they go around the final corner. To start their 5th lap. This Grand Prix might be over very quickly. Which will please me because less time commentating. As we go through the first chicane. We're still on board with Fisichella. We've been on Fisichella's board. Hey, we've finally changed camera angle, camera position, whatever. We are on board now with Damon Hill. Now we're in board with the Japanese driver of Takagi, who replaced Mark Webber, controversially, as Mark Webber was actually performing better than Young. Button's currently in 9th place. And here is the lead Ferrari. It's Schumacher that's the lead Ferrari. They've obviously swapped positions at some part of the lap. And they've got a little bit of a lead over Alex Young. But they're not really gaining anything. Jack Villeneuve's currently in 13th place. This is the highest he's probably been all season, which he will be pleased with. And we have Mika Salo currently in 14th place. Both of these underperforming compared to their teammates, who are currently in 2nd and 4th, I believe. As Juan Pablo Montoya are pretty much on his own, not catching the front boys at the moment, but he's far ahead of this guy, Nick Heidfeld, who is still holding up the arrows of Heinz-Harald Frentzen and Jos Verstappen. Neither of them have been able to get past him, and they're just losing time hand over fist compared to the front runners at the moment, as they're getting very, very close to the inside of the Sauber. But Sauber's had a better run off of that final corner and is slowly pulling away. Here's Verstappen at the moment in 18th place. Is Frentzen going to have a look down the inside of that Sauber? The answer is no. He's come back to the behind the Sauber at the moment, as we are on board with Ralf Schumacher at the moment. He's not catching these front three, and Felipe Massa is currently being dropped by everyone. He's currently 3.8, 3.9, and is this the gap? That cannot be the gap between the leader and last place. That is a huge gap at the moment, as we have David Coulthard currently in the lead. Olivier Panis currently in 2nd place. He's slowly pulling away from the Jaguar of De La Rosa, who was giving him pressure in the opening laps. They go round Parabolica for the 6th time. Pedro De La Rosa is currently in 3rd place at the moment. They are all pulling away from 4th place. It looks like the podium is going to be pretty set at the moment. These top 3 all pulling away at a right rate of knots. Now, I mentioned about fuel. I don't know who is 2 stopping or 3 stopping or 1 stopping. So that'll be a nice surprise for me. Anyway, we're on board with Alonso. Now we're on board with Luciano Berti in the 2nd Jaguar. And he is not gaining any time over Alonso, who's probably not making much of an effort. Neither is Fisichella, who's still not far behind, but not really making any headways. Neither is Hill or Takagi, and they have a massive advantage now. 8 seconds to a lot of the cars in front, as we are going to see quite a lot of activity in the pit lane, it looks like. We have Coulthard currently about to make a pit stop. In he goes, and he stops at there, and there is his pit box, and in he goes. Lovely animation there we are going to see. Is anyone going across the finish line? Pedro de Rosa has, and so has Damon Hill, both of them gone for another lap, which will please everyone. As there goes Coulthard out of the pits, in front of Button, in front of Schumacher, in front of Barrichello. Looks like all these are going to be behind him. Yes, Young, Villeneuve, Salo, and that was another car. I think that was a whatever. There's Takagi. They are all in front of the pretty much one-stoppers. Brenson's managed to get past Heidfeld. Verstappen's still behind Heidfeld, it looks like. All of these managed to get in front of quite a few one-stoppers. We believe the Arrows are one-stopping. I'm not sure if the Saubers are one-stopping, or the Williams, I'm not sure if they are one-stopping or not. That is Salo. I think Montoya is one-stopping, I believe. As we have Villeneuve currently in 9th place, going through Lesmo 2. Young is currently in 8th place. He's yet to make a pit stop. And there's Panis. He's behind all the Ferraris, who I do believe are one-stopping. There's Coulthard, and there is Schumacher in 4th place at the moment, but he will take the lead once everyone in front of him makes a stop, which will be surely please all the Tifosi in the crowd. As the next 3 cars are coming in, it's Hill, Button, and the other person, De La Rosa, which means yes, the Ferrari is leading the Italian Grand Prix. You can probably hear the crowd going absolutely wild. You probably could if we could hear the crowd. I can't hear the crowd, so I don't know if they're going wild or not. Frentzen overtakes Button. Heidfeld overtakes Button. Verstappen overtakes Button. Schumacher overtakes Button. Everyone overtakes Button apart from Massa, who is still trundling along in last place. Just like these hopes and dreams at the moment. And we have quite a battle going on. It's Fernando Alonso right behind Hill. Hill has made his pit stop, which means he has jumped Alonso, miraculously jumped Alonso. Because I'm pretty sure that Hill was quite a little bit of distance away from Alonso, maybe at least 2 seconds. I'm not sure if he did it. I think he did a overcut and managed to make it work. But we have Panis trying to overtake Barrichello, but Barrichello is holding his own. In fact, Panis is well behind Pedro de Rosa, who's currently in 3rd place. And Coulthard had a little look down the inside of Schumacher, and is visibly really close. Is David Coulthard going to try to overtake the Ferrari and crush the hopes of dreams of the Tifosi? Here he goes, and he is mounted the Ferrari. He is completely mounted the Ferrari. Are both cars okay? It looks to me like they are, but Coulthard has not managed to overtake Schumacher at the moment after pretty much being mounted by him. Is he going to have another look down into the... I'm pretty sure, actually, come to think of it, the Rettifilio is actually the first corner. And that one's called, like, the Virivanti or something like that. Anyway, David Coulthard's having a look down the inside of the first Lesmo. Is he going to have a look down the second Lesmo? No, he isn't. It's a bit of a stupid decision to try and to overtake there. Pedro De La Rosa did jump Panis, I believe. I think Panis was in second place. Here comes Coulthard. He's currently obviously in second place. We've been looking at their battle between Coulthard and Schumacher at the moment. De La Rosa is caught up to this battle, and Pedro De La Rosa is visibly quicker than him on this plane straight. You can see him just gaining a little bit of time. Is he going to send one down the inside of him? No, he isn't. He's going to hold back at the moment, drifting around Parabolica. He's definitely not going to have a chance of catching him at the Rettifilio. But is Coulthard going to have an opportunity to overtake Schumacher? I don't think he is. He's a little bit far back from last lap, and he has fought better off it. He's currently 2/10. He's now further behind there. We have another battle going on here. It's Panis and Barrichello, currently in 4th and 5th place. But Panis is trying to overtake Barrichello and cannot manage it at the moment. It looks to me like the 2 stoppers have a huge advantage at the moment over the 1 stoppers as they go towards Lesmo 1 and 2. As we have paused at the moment, we are in Mika Salo is currently in last place at the moment. Alex Young's currently in 19th. Villeneuve 18th at the moment. And they're all quite far back. Whoops, my laptop turned itself off, and oh, I'm seeing double. Oh dear. Let's try and fix that while I paused the thing there, so everything's going to be out of sync at the moment. But I fixed everything, it's fine. Ralf Schumacher's currently in 15th place. Verstappen's currently in 14th place at the moment. As we have Heidfeld in 13th place. I'm probably going to have to resync this, aren't I? Because it's going to all be out of sync. You're still going to hear all this because I can't be bothered to edit it. You're going to have to put up with it. But we have actually saw an overtake there. Juan Pablo Montoya has been overtaken by Luciano Berti. We actually saw an overtake live in front of us. You're welcome. And in front of us, it looks like we have another overtake. It looked like Panis overtook Barrichello running outside of the first chicane. But we missed that because we was on board with the Jaguar. As we have now Panis in 4th place. Is he going to try and catch? Schumacher's still in the lead. Schumacher is still holding up leader Coulthard. Surely then Coulthard will take the net lead when these 1 stoppers pit. But we currently have Schumacher in the lead. Is Coulthard going to try and overtake him going into Sascari? No, he isn't. It's quite an intriguing battle going on here. As the Ferrari, we're now going down the back straight towards the Parabolica corner. Is Coulthard going to try and overtake him around Parabolica? No, he is. He's got his nose in, but nothing doing there. Is he going to get a good enough exit? It looks to me like he has got a good enough exit, which means we could see, in fact, Pedro De Rosa is catching up with Coulthard. We could see here we go. Coulthard still cannot overtake Schumacher. Is he going to force him into a spin? Yes, he is. He's forced Schumacher into a spin. That is very, very dirty from Coulthard. We might have a Stewart's inquiry about that. He's literally just pushed Schumacher out of the way. De La Rosa has managed to take advantage and overtake the Ferrari. The Ferrari driver must be very annoyed, and the crowd must be very annoyed about that as well, as they all have an affection to the Ferrari team. But alas, David Coulthard currently leads the Italian Grand Prix now. And now we're on board with Barrichello, who is sort of in the middle of nowhere, but he still has Damon Hill right behind him. And now we have 4 cars all right next to each other. It's now Panis caught up, English speak, caught up to the back of Schumacher as they go towards the Parabolica corner. as we brake and go round this long corner. And Barrichello has been overtaken now by Damon Hill. But Barrichello is going into the pits, so he won't be too bothered about that. And he has released Alonso, Fisichella, all of them guys currently going past as we go into the pits. There is Montoya going into the pits. Frentzen has carried on for another lap. He's gone till God knows how long. Heitfeld has gone into the pits, has he? Yes. But it is the Ferrari. He's managed to get in front of Schumacher and Button. I think Schumacher is on a 1-stop and Button is on a 2-stop. So this 11th should be the worst he can get. As we see Mika Salo is no longer last, he is now in 18th position. Heitfeld is currently behind him. As we go back on board with the dirty cheater that is Coulthard. He's currently in the lead. Pedro De La Rosa is currently in second place. They've got a 4-second lead, it looks like, over Schumacher. As we go into the pits now with David Coulthard for his second and final stop. Schumacher also looks like he's coming in for his one and only stop. Hill goes on for another lap. Panis pits, Alonso pits, Fisichella pits, Bertie pits. They all hold up the McLaren, which will help Pedro De La Rosa slightly. As he goes out now onto the main straight. He is currently in a third position. I'm getting better at this commentary, I promise you. There is Hill. I nearly called him Coulthard. Here is Damon Hill, currently in second place. And De La Rosa is currently in the lead, going through Lesmo 2. I don't know if that's Lesmo 1 or Lesmo 2. They both look exactly the same. But they're going down the long straight towards Ascari. Braking, going through Ascari now. And here is Takagi currently in 11th place. Button's currently in 10th place. There's Alonso in 9th and Barrichello in 8th place. And then we have Bertie in front of Barrichello. He's in 7th. Panis is in front. He's 6th at the moment. There is Panis in 6th place. Fisichella is in 5th place in front of him. Schumacher has come out in 4th place from following his pit stop. As we go around Parabolica for the 15th time. There is Schumacher. He's currently in 4th place. David Coulthard's currently in 3rd place. Neither of the two leaders have pitted, of Hill and De La Rosa. They are both going to stop, I presume, on this lap. As we go through Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2. There we are as we go down the back straight now. Surely he's going to make a pit stop this lap. As we go towards the Ascari chicane. If he's doing 8 lap stints in both, if he did 8 laps in the first stint, surely he's going to be doing 8 laps in the second stint. As yes, I see through my commentary box window that the Jaguar team are getting ready for a pit stop. This is the crucial time now. Will Pedro De La Rosa get in front of Coulthard? I don't know, you don't know, no one knows. We're about to find out. Here we are, De La Rosa turning into the pit lane. Slamming on his anchors now, going down the pit lane. Into the pit box he goes. There goes Hill into the pits as well. And Minardi looks like he's pitting as well. But who is going to get out in front? De La Rosa is coming out of the pits now. 8.5 second pit stop. Where is Coulthard? There is Coulthard. We can see De La Rosa now coming out of the pit lane. It looks like Coulthard has managed to... Coulthard has lost the position to Pedro De La Rosa. De La Rosa has managed to... And he's going incredibly slowly going round the first corner. Coulthard is giving him a little bit of a nudge. to help him along. Della Rosa is now in the lead of the Italian Grand Prix, ahead of the McLaren of David Coulthard. It looks like the other McLaren has managed to get into third place and managed to jump the likes of Panis, the Ferraris, lot of people he's managed to jump. He's now in third place. So it's currently Jaguar from McLaren. But Coulthard, look, going through Les Mode 2, he might be annoyed a little bit about Della Rosa getting in front. He might want to try and overtake in these last 3.5 laps as to go down the back straight towards Ascari. Coulthard needs to catch up to the Jaguar as they go through Ascari down the back straight towards Parabolica. He's lost a lot of time. There is Damon Hill. He's currently in third place. And there is Schumacher in fourth place. That was surely pleased at Tifosi. As we have Fisichella here in fifth place. And Panis in sixth place. All of these are fighting for fourth or third place. It's going to be a disappointing result for Panis, who is looking so good for second but has just dropped off the pace at the moment. The pit stops have obviously not helped him. And we have Bertie that was in 7th place. And Alonso right alongside Barrichello. Is Alonso going to outbrake Barrichello going into the first chicane? They're battling. They're certainly battling, and Alonso has taken the place. Is Takagi going to get involved? I don't think he is. Barrichello is actually catching up to Alonso. Alonso has slowed down quite a lot. Is Barrichello going to have a look? No, he isn't. Takagi is in 10th place. He's in the final points position. 11th place is currently, I think, Montoya, with Frentzen currently in 12th place. In sort of no man's land. You can see Montoya is not catching Montoya. And there's Heitfeld currently in 13th place. Well behind, but still holding up Verstappen in the other arrows. Is Verstappen going to try? Nope, Verstappen's not overtaking. Button's currently in 15th place. So that's not a good position for the Renault, especially with Fisichella doing as well as he is. Schumacher, that is in 16th place. Villeneuve in 17th place. He's back in his usual position from the start of the season. Young's currently in 18th place. That's quite disappointing. Marsalo's in 19th place, which is also quite disappointing. And Massa is in last again, like he was at the start of the race. And we see Della Rosa coming round Parabolica, is it? Or is that Curva Grande? It was Curva Grande, as he's going towards the second chicane, towards the Lesmos. He's holding his own compared to Coulthard in front. Coulthard is behind the Jaguar. As to go through Lesmo 2 and down towards Ascari. Coulthard doesn't look to be anywhere close to the Jaguar in the closing laps. Now it's Hill in third place. It's going to be a double McLaren podium at the moment. Schumacher in fourth place. It's going to be Ferrari's best finish in a very long time. But he does have quite an angry pack behind him, including Fisichella, Panis and Bertie, all trying to overtake the Ferrari. Panis needs to overtake Fisichella before he can attack the Ferrari. But with Fisichella trying to attack the Ferrari, Panis has no way of getting in front at the moment. As everyone goes towards the start-finish line to start the final lap of the Italian Grand Prix. Is Fisichella going to outbrake Schumacher? He is not. That's probably one of the final overtaking opportunities he's going to get on this track. He could try an ambitious one. And there's Alonso in 8th place after passing Barrichello, who's currently in 9th place, but he has Takagi right behind him. Minardi, also an Italian team, but the Italian fans have nothing to do with them. Coulthard is actually visibly closer to Pedro Della Rosa, Has Pedro de la Rosa slowed down a little bit, conserving his fuel, conserving his tyres, conserving his parts, just to try and make it to the end. It's not a good Descari corner for David Coulthard, and he now has to lunge from 8/10 back to try and overtake the Jaguar, and I can almost guarantee that's not going to happen as we go around Parabolica, and it is going to be a second victory of the season for the reigning champion Pedro de la Rosa, who comes towards the line to win the Italian Grand Prix. Coulthard second place for the McLaren. Surely he should have won that race. Hill finishes in third place, with Schumacher, Fisichella, Panis and Bertie all finishing next, with Alonso in 8th place. 19 seconds back from the lead. It's very tight at the moment. Takagi is finished in 10th place. I have dropped my headset. That is not a good thing. Pablo Montoya is in 11th place. Frenson's in 12th place. No points for Williams. No points for Arrows. As we have now a long wait for the next car to come past. And the next car would be Heidfeld. As well, okay, we have the results now. De La Rosa wins the Italian Grand Prix. 0.7 seconds behind Coulthard. It's the closest finish we've had so far, I reckon. I don't quote me on that. Damon Hill runs off the podium. He's in third place for the other McLarens. A good haul of points for the McLaren team. Schumacher finishes in fourth place at the moment. At the moment, he did finish in fourth place. It's the classified race results. What are you talking about? I'm blabbering on because I need it to scroll back up so we can see who's in the rest of positions, because it was quite tight. I think fifth place was Fisichella. Yes, Fisichella was in fifth place. Sixth place was Panis. Seventh place was Bertie, 16 seconds behind his teammate. And we have Bertie was already in 7th place. I already said that. It is Alonso coming up next. Was in 8th place. 9th place was the other Ferrari of Barrichello. They are consistently scoring points, the Ferrari boys, which will, after last season, will definitely please the manager a lot. And in 10th place in the final points is Takagi. And the non-scorers are Juan Pablo Montoya, Heinz-Harald Frentzen, Nick Heidfeld in 13th place. I don't know who the rest of the field is. I think Verstappen finished in 14th place. 15th place was someone. Someone. To be honest, I don't know. Button. I've just caught it there. It was Button that came in 15th place. Schumacher comes in 16th place. Neither Williams score, as I alluded to. Villeneuve is in 17th place. He's still yet to get off the mark this season. 18th place is Alex Young. 19th place is Mika Salo. And in 20th place is Felipe Massa. And last, no retirements in the Italian Grand Prix, which makes a change. And this is all we've got time for. Thank you so much for watching the Italian Grand Prix, and goodbye.